today's live is going to be on this question that we get all the time: is a landing page better for conversions, or is a website better? This is an ongoing debate where people always say, some say, hey, you want to get nice branding, you want to show a lot more information about, your product or service. So what you got to do is use your website, because your website is your online store. It is everything to you. It's your branding, it's your image, it's everything. So let's just give them all the information all at once, right? But I want to mention to you that when you are running ads, you are not basically running ads for everything at once. It's usually you're selling one specific item or product, service, whatever you want to call it. It's usually one thing that you're selling. So that one thing that you're selling, you're taking it and you're putting it into an ad, and you're targeting specific people that match that product or service that you're selling, right? So whatever it is you're selling, you want to match that to the audience, and then you want to put a landing page. Like, why I'm saying a landing page for that case is because in that case you're going to be targeting something very specific, right? You're not really going to spend money on an ad and say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to put everything, all my shoes and all my clothes, whatever I have to sell, or all my services, and I'm just going to throw that out there to this audience because they buy everything. But it doesn't mean, it's usually not the case. Usually you have multiple services, multiple audiences, and they have multiple services, multiple products, and they all could be for different target audiences, right? Because the whole idea is to leverage the audiences that the social media platforms have, but they have it all divided up into different categories. So they have it divided into audience A, audience B, people that like this, people that like that. Age and location, that's a given. Obviously, there's age and location, demographic, male, female. But I'm going to talk about going further into interest, because you have all these huge audiences. You can't just, like the old days, just blurt it out to everybody. So what you want to do is get a little bit more specific in your targeting, and that's the key, is to get more specific. The more specific that you get with your targeting, and the more specific you get with related in relation to your product service, the better your chances are of conversions. And even at that point, believe it or not, you may just have people see it and they might convert later on. They might convert later. It could be the first time they ever saw what you have, and even then they could still not convert to what you were thinking, that hey, I just put this up and it's going to sell. It doesn't always work like that. Like, I've seen people put a small budget, they put it online, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to advertise. In their mind, they think that they're going to put these ads up and this is going to convert and right away. And you know what? I'm here to tell you, like, it's not like that. Like, you really have to test it, try it out. I mean, for lead generation, it's different, but if you're selling online, you really got to warm them up a little bit more, right? So usually what some people do is they'll target them right to their website and get very general, and then they'll retarget them with a landing page with another campaign, and just be more specific about what they think that they will buy, right? Or what their plan was originally with that main campaign. But now there are cases where a website comes in. If you're doing a branding campaign, or if you're doing a campaign in general, just to kind of see the audience and just to kind of test the waters, or maybe build a lookalike audience or whatever it is, then fine. You go ahead and you simply put out, your website. Especially if you're just starting out, start getting people to your website and opting in for a newsletter, maybe putting in requesting information, and you get information. You start the conversation with them, and then you can email them, you can call them, whatever it may be, right? So that's a different avenue. For lead generation, it's the website does work really well. Still, again, I'd recommend the landing page. Or maybe you're coming back and you're saying, I just want to get exposure. Okay, you get exposure out there, right? Website's the way to go. But it's always important to have a website, because you might be getting the idea thinking, hey, you know what? I don't need a website. I just need landing pages. Not true. You can have a website that is more like a landing page, and you can have it so that it's meant to convert. But the thing is that, it's not, it's kind of an in-between. It's got all the information, but it's very, user-friendly, and it's very easy to get, your message across, right? You have everything organized, right? So a website, using a website online, maybe connecting your website to, let's say, a social post you do, right? Or to an email, just sending it out, for more information, visit .com, right? Whatever it is. So it's good for that, right? But when it comes to ads, I would strongly recommend, from our experience, landing pages have worked way, way better because you can tailor the content on that landing page to exactly what you want to do. And for us, like, we don't use these big long funnels that are like this whole, long, keep scrolling, infinite scroll, and goes on and on and on. Some people like that and it works for them. Go ahead and do it. But what we do is we try to really tighten up things and really try to give people the information as soon as possible, right? Like, at the same time, you still want to have what those long ones have, where they have um, testimonies, they have case stories, case studies, they have little quizzes, and that's all great too. If that's your goal and that's what you want to do, go for it. But you'll have to promote it probably a little bit more, because when they go into that and they start seeing all this, it's also hard for you to say, hey, what's really working? If you have something very minimal, like very simple and basic, you can kind of tweak it and look at it and say, hey, well, the benefits I put on this landing page don't really benefit the audience that I'm targeting. It's off, right? So you want to make sure that your target ad, the video that you put on, sends the right message, and then your text sends the right message, and then they click and they go to your landing page, that it's in relation to the audience and the product or service that you're selling. So just really think from their point of view that you're getting that whole story to them, right? Of why they should buy your product, right? Or why they should try it. So I do recommend taking this idea and implementing it onto your website, because if you already have goodwill, you already have traffic on your website, which most of you do, you're probably not using it to your advantage. So what you want to do is go to your website and say, make it very simple. Like what we did is we took our best landing page, and that worked out well over the years, and we took it and we literally copied it right onto our website and then added a bit more information, right? And you know what? It's been converting a lot better. And all that traffic that we get on our website for free, you have more chances of converting it as well, right? Another thing would be, one last little bonus tip I want to tell you, is that what you can do is you can simply take your website, set it up so that there's two stages. One step is to get their lead information, their email address, maybe their phone number too, but primarily their email address. And then the second step, maybe phone number if you really want it, but usually it goes right to some questions and maybe the sale, right? Or the trial, right? So you have the commitment after that. So then you can have the drop off. You've got the first part, they see your landing page or website, and then they go to the second step. They're requesting information, or they're putting their email address in. Now they're on your email list. And then the next step, it goes, they get offered to buy, right? So if you get, some people all the way through the funnel, sorry, I should say sequence. I don't like using funnel because it's been overused. Let's say the sequence goes all the way, and we get into the part now where we're at, put my email address in. Now they're saying, okay, asking some questions about me. So I'm like, okay, so we're engaging now. I'm answering some questions. And then now comes a credit card page, and it's like, hey, give me an offer to buy, right? And you might think, oh man, that's a little pushy, but you'd be surprised. Maybe 1 out of 20 people that go there could buy it, right? And then that purchase that you made, or that free trial, or that commitment from them, gives you the justification to say, you know what, like, I'm spending on these ads and I'm getting all these email addresses, I'm building my list, and then I'm also engaging with people. People are getting to know my brand, they're watching my videos online. And then on top of it, I'm even getting some that are buying, which may not double or triple or quadruple the money you spent on the ads, but it actually will get you, um, some money back to cover it. Because think of it, if you cover it and you break even just off of those few, then what happens is, think of all of the other ones that you had, think of all of the leads and everything you captured as well. That's a bonus because you're building your list, right? The money's in the list. I'm sure you've heard that before. Anyways, that's it. I'm kind of getting into other topics here, but the idea here is, guys, consider what I said and implement it, and really look at your thing. Make some notes, right? Make some notes and analyze it. Okay? Anyways, wish you guys the best. Have a great day, and yeah, good luck.